Imagine this, you're whipping up a batch of your signature lavender soap, the scent filling your kitchen with a calming aroma. The lavender soothing fragrance wafts through the air, creating a serene atmosphere that makes the entire process feel almost therapeutic. Friends and family rave about your creations, and soon, you're selling bars faster than you can make them. Each compliment and sale fuels your passion, and you start to wonder if this could be more than just a pastime. It's a satisfying side hustle, but at what point does it become more than just a hobby? You find yourself spending more time perfecting your craft, researching new techniques, and even considering branding ideas. The answer, my friend, lies in a seemingly insignificant number, $600. This threshold is crucial because it determines how the IRS views your soap-making endeavors. The Internal Revenue Service in the United States has a specific rule about hobby income versus business income. This rule is designed to distinguish between casual creators and those who are running a legitimate business. If you earn more than $600 from selling your soap, you're officially crossing the line from hobbyist to entrepreneur in the eyes of the taxman. This means you'll need to start keeping detailed records of your sales and expenses. But don't worry. This isn't a reason to panic or, heaven forbid, stop making your delightful soaps. Instead, see it as an exciting opportunity to grow and formalize your passion. It's simply a signal to shift gears, embrace your newfound business status, and learn how to navigate the world of taxes as a small business owner. This transition can open doors to new opportunities, such as marketing your products to a wider audience, participating in craft fairs, and even setting up an online store. You might consider attending small business workshops or networking with other entrepreneurs to gain insights and tips. These resources can provide valuable guidance on everything from pricing strategies to effective marketing techniques. As you embrace this new chapter, think about creating a brand identity that reflects your unique style and values. Designing a logo, setting up a website, and establishing a social media presence can help you reach more customers and build a loyal following. With each step, you'll find yourself more immersed in the world of entrepreneurship. The joy of seeing your products in the hands of happy customers and receiving positive feedback will make all the effort worthwhile. So, whether you started making soap as a creative outlet or a way to share your love for natural products, remember that turning your hobby into a business is a journey filled with learning and growth. Embrace it with enthusiasm and watch your passion flourish into a thriving enterprise. Let's break down this magic $600 number. This figure is crucial for anyone dabbling in small-scale sales, especially if you're turning a hobby into a side hustle. This threshold isn't about limiting your earning potential. Rather, it's a guideline set by the IRS to help differentiate between casual income from a hobby and profits from a business. Essentially, the IRS uses this benchmark to determine when your hobby has transitioned into a business venture. Think of it this way. If you occasionally sell a few bars of soap to friends and family and make less than $600 in a year, the IRS considers it a hobby. This means you're not required to report this income on your tax return. It's like selling your old textbooks online or making a bit of cash from a craft fair. These activities are generally seen as casual and not subject to the same tax regulations as a business. It's nice bonus income but not your primary source of livelihood. This extra cash can be a great way to support your hobby or fund new projects without the burden of additional paperwork. However, if your soap sales consistently bring in more than $600 annually, the IRS views it as running a business. This is a significant shift because it means your activities are now considered a source of income that needs to be reported. This means you're expected to report your income and expenses, pay self-employment taxes, and potentially obtain necessary licenses and permits. The transition from hobby to business involves more responsibility, but also opens up new opportunities. Don't let the tax implications scare you. Embracing the business aspect can be incredibly rewarding. There are many advantages to operating as a legitimate business that we'll explore later. From potential tax deductions to the ability to grow your brand, the benefits can far outweigh the initial challenges. So, stay tuned as we dive deeper into the world of small business ownership and how you can make the most of your soap making venture. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly counts as hobby income versus business income when it comes to my soap making? This is a common question for many who start making soap as a fun activity and then find themselves selling a few bars here and there. It's a great question and crucial to understand as you navigate this $600 threshold. Knowing the difference can help you manage your finances better and ensure you're compliant with any tax regulations. Hobby income is generally sporadic and not your primary source of income. It's the kind of money you make when you sell a few bars of soap occasionally, without any regularity or significant effort to market your products. Imagine selling a few bars of soap here and there to friends or at local craft fairs. You might participate in a couple of events a year, but it's not something you rely on to cover your living expenses. You're not heavily marketing your products or relying on these sales to pay your bills. Instead, it's more about sharing your creations with others and enjoying the process of making soap. It's a fun way to share your passion and earn some extra cash. You might gift some of your soap to friends and family. And any sales you make are just a nice bonus. Business income, however, is more consistent and involves actively trying to make a profit. This means you're putting in the effort to market your products, build a brand, and create a steady stream of customers. You're investing time and resources into your soap making, marketing your products, building a customer base, and generating consistent sales. This could involve setting up an online store, attending multiple craft fairs, and using social media to promote your soap. The key differentiator is the intention behind your soap making activities. Are you doing it just for fun? Or are you aiming to create a sustainable business? Are you primarily doing it for enjoyment and personal satisfaction with occasional sales as a bonus? If so, that's more aligned with hobby income. Or are you actively working towards building a profitable business venture? This would mean you're treating your soap making as a serious endeavor with plans to grow and expand your operations over time. Understanding this distinction is important because it affects how you report your income and expenses. Hobby income is generally reported differently on your taxes compared to business income, which can have implications for deductions and other financial considerations. If you're leaning towards turning your soap making into a business, consider taking steps to formalize your operations. This might include getting a business license, setting up a dedicated workspace, and keeping detailed records of your sales and expenses. Whether you choose to keep soap making as a hobby or turn it into a business, the most important thing is to enjoy what you're doing. After all, the joy of creating something with your own hands is what makes soap making so rewarding. If you're content with keeping your soap making a hobby and staying under the $600 mark, that's perfectly fine. There's no pressure to turn your passion into a full-blown business if that's not your goal. However, it's essential to keep track of your income and expenses, even as a hobbyist. Maintain a simple spreadsheet or notebook where you track your soap making expenses, such as ingredients, packaging, and any marketing materials. Also, keep a record of your sales and any platforms you use to sell your soap, like online marketplaces or craft fairs. While you might not need to report this income if it's under $600, having these records can be helpful for personal budgeting and understanding the profitability of your hobby. Plus, you'll be well prepared if your soap sales start bubbling over the $600 threshold in the future.